Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's a pretty special video. If you are a company looking to hire your first employee in Japan, we're going to explain the best way to go about it. If you're a client, it's a hot market at the moment, a lot of people entering the Japan market.
Yeah.
What are the first things you need to consider?
I think the first big decision, right, for companies, like, do you have a legal entity in Japan? Because that will affect a lot of the caliber of people that you want to hire, right? You have to commit to it, I think. If you want to make it, it's not one of those countries that you can do it on a freelancing basis, for instance, right?
Japanese candidates are super risk averse. So the idea of being self-employed, doing their own taxes, organizing their own health insurance, that may not be an issue, again, in the US or in Europe, but in Japan, that is a big deal. It's going to significantly diminish the candidate pool that you can actually attract. So I think, we recommend two ways to start with. So either you have your own entity, your own Japanese business and get it set up. The other thing, if you're dealing with a firm like Cornerstone, is that we also have a staffing business. We can employ that person for you. So they are a full-time employee, they get health insurance, taxes and social insurance are all sorted, and people feel much more comfortable rather than being self-employed. The cultural bridge is the most important thing. I would urge every company to consider this. And I think either you kind of want to go for a Japanese candidate who maybe has been educated overseas, right, is really bicultural and can bridge that gap. Or actually, a non-Japanese person for the first hire, because your communication will be a little bit easier. I think what a lot of companies face frustrations with is hearing back from their first employee, this is not possible in Japan.
Can't do it,
We can't do it because of this. And then there's a lot of frustration around, is that true? Is that the person's own opinion? Like, is there some context behind that? And we really see that a lot. So I think getting like the cultural fit, as you said, for the first hire, absolutely crucial. You definitely need to have an approach which is aligned with the Japan market, right? Even if it's slightly outside of what your global standard is. So there's small things like, a commuting allowance is standard. I've heard a lot of clients questioning, why do we have to pay a commuting allowance? Even though it may not be a huge amount, if you don't offer that, even a very high level candidate will think you don't know what you're doing, it's not standard. And you may risk actually not securing that person. I think also when we see, if you hire a salesperson to start with, I think it's a lot more common in Europe and the US to have a 50-50 split between base and commission, and really incentivize somebody heavily on the sales that they make. In Japan, the base component will have to be significantly higher.
That's 80-20 is
maybe 80-20, is how it works. And that can actually be a big change to how you compensate people across the globe.
So Matt, one of the misunderstanding that clients usually have when they come to Japan?
If they're hiring a salesperson, they're going to be looking for that super polished sales structure, classic closing skills,
KPIs,
all this kind of stuff. And the metrics to which you hire in other countries may be slightly different in Japan. Japan often is based on relationship selling, the network which you've developed. And I think in your interview process, a lot of the time you should actually be really trying to uncover, who does this person know?
How long have they known
them? How can they leverage those relationships rather than looking for the immediately dynamic, aggressive personality? I've seen that a lot where candidates who have that, who realize that's what they need to show in the interview process, will get the job. And they're nowhere near as good as some of the candidates a little more passive, have the relationships, and I think that's where we can help, right? To kind of give that little bit of advice and background on candidates, because clients quickly get drawn to the guys with the best English and the guys who are the most aggressive, or girls. So if you are a client, you're considering entering the Japan market, and you're thinking about that first hire, then please hit us up. We've got, between us, 20 plus years experience, more.
30, I think. Fortunately.
A lot of experience in this market, a great track record of introducing the first hire to companies as they enter the Japan market, and we look forward to helping you with that search.